Today we are making Texas caviar. We are making that with some cilantro, purple onion, red peppers, some steamed crisp corn, and northern beans, and Italian dressing. We've had several different requests from you to show you the different dicing mechanisms. We're going to use 2 of them today. We're going to go ahead and use the 12 millimeter, which is the one that comes with it, and you can see we've already got that assembled, so we're going to go ahead and pop that on. One of the things I like about the Breville is it says on there which disc you're using. So this one we're using the 12 millimeter. I found with so many different things, when you're using it, it really depends on how you put the vegetables in. So as Cassie puts these in today, she's going to be my helper. She's going to show you how we do it, and we just kind of put them in there to where they're standing up and not sitting on the side. So she's going to go ahead and run those through and go ahead and push start. Okay, we'll go ahead and add some more. Cassie's going to go ahead and put about 3 of them in there. You can go ahead and put as many as you can fit, and still have them sitting upright. So there, she's got about 3 of them on there, and she's just going to go ahead and push start. Again, as you're pushing start, you got to be able to get the plunger in if you're using the plunger, and you can see it's just creating a great diced look to these peppers. So Cassie will go ahead and finish this up for us. We're going to use the 8 millimeter when we do the purple onion. When I make this, I don't like quite as much taste as purple onion, so I put that in as a little bit smaller. You can also use tomatoes if you want tomatoes in this. So Cassie's got these done. We're going to go ahead and have her dump it into our pan, and then you can see what they look like. We're going to go ahead and take that off, and then you can see that is what the 12 millimeter looks like. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to clean this out. You can see there's quite a bit there, so we just go ahead and take the plunger and we pop that plunger onto the clean out, and you can see this clean out says 12 millimeter, and then we're just going to go ahead and pop it through, and that way you're not wasting those vegetables and you're getting them out, and it's going to make the cleanup so much easier. The other trick that I have with cleanup is using the brush that came with it. If you haven't used that brush, I'm going to tell you, cleaning this up with the brush makes all the difference in the world. Because of the fact that I could do this a little bit faster, you might decide you don't mind the taste of the onion and you want to go ahead and use the same blade for all of it. If you do, that's completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and use the smaller blade just because we've had some requests to use the different blades so people can see if they want to buy the extra package. This is the 8 millimeter, and we're going to go ahead and add that on, and then we'll go ahead and add the lid. For this one, I am doing the purple onion. We're just going to go ahead and pop the plunger on. Unlike the slicing, it doesn't matter how I put this on because it's just going to become diced. But you can see that 8 millimeter definitely gives a smaller diced look than what the 12 millimeter does. Again, I'm going to go ahead and grab the clean out piece for that. I'm going to pop it on. You just line it up with the arrows. The onion can be a little bit more difficult to get out. Always be careful with these blades because they are so sharp. I'm not getting that quite lined up because I'm not in my line of sight trying to get it on camera. But you just push down, and I'm going to push down on this last side, and you can see so fast we did that in no time at all. Now we're going to add that to our salad mixture. go ahead and dump these into a bigger container, and that way we can mix it all together. The last thing we're going to do is use the S blade, and we're going to use that in our Breville, and that is what we're going to do our cilantro with. So we're just going to put a little bit of cilantro on both sides. Go ahead and throw that lid on. You don't have to add the cilantro to this dish, but you can. And then we're just going to close it. And really, when I'm doing that cilantro, I'm doing it small enough that the leaves are pretty small and not going to be overwhelming in the salad. So we'll go ahead and pop that out. And we're going to go ahead and throw that into our salad. And you can see that is looking absolutely great. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our corn and dump it in. I like this steamed white shoe peg corn. I feel like it holds up a little bit better than a traditional yellow corn. We'll go ahead and do 2 of those. I did 5 peppers. I was going to do 6 peppers, but Cassie had one for a snack. So the last thing we're going to do is 1 can of Great Northern beans. You can use black beans, whatever beans you like. We kind of like the Great Northern beans for this, and because of the fact that we don't love the texture of beans as much as we do everything else, we just do 1 can into that. And you can see, chopping up this salad, it looks all uniform. The last thing we are going to add is going to be the Italian dressing, and that is makes really this dish so easy because of the fact that you don't have to pre-mix it. So Cassie's just going to dump on that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the rest of the Italian dressing. You can just pop the lid off of the Italian dressing and then dump the whole thing in. You really can't have too much. It's going to marinate, and then the next day, if you feel like it's too watery, you can go ahead and take it out. So we're going to go ahead and stir this together. I'm going to put some saran wrap over the top and put it into a refrigerated dish, and we'll pull that out tomorrow. We like to eat this with corn chips, and a great way to use the Breville dicing mechanism. If you have other things that you would like for us to use the Breville for, please feel free to put it in the comments, and thanks for watching.